Hey guys, today I want to touch up on Adam and Eve a little. Because I hear a lot of people, a lot of men be mad at Adam for eating the fruit, and then they be mad at Eve for eating from the tree as well. A lot of women be mad at Eve for eating from the tree. But I want you guys to understand that Adam and Eve only did the same thing you guys would have did. We would have did. Because we have a whole Bible now that has God tells us what to do. And we decided to live life the way we want to live. I want people to understand the problem with today and a lot of communities and all these things, it's really not a race thing. It's really not a sex thing. It's the fact that we have gotten away from God. It's really that simple. And when you go back to Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve, it says a lot because they are just like how we are today. Now, God made a man first. He made Adam. He made trees. He told Adam, you can eat from any tree except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There was two trees in the middle of the garden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He didn't tell Adam he couldn't eat from the tree of life. He told him not to eat from the tree of good and evil. Adam already had life. So him eating from the tree of life would have did nothing. Him eating from the tree of good and evil was the one that would have caused him to die. So he made the woman and the serpent. The devil knew. He didn't tell this to Eve. So Eve had one duty. Listen to your husband. Listen to him. Follow his instructions. Now, I still think today when you read the Bible, look into the Bible, women have a really easy job by God. Submit to your husband. Be nice. Take care of widows. And be a good influence to women. Represent your husband in a positive way. Represent God in a positive way. I really believe a woman could spend her whole life in the house and make it to heaven. Taking care of her family, taking care of and loving God, praying to God, taking care of her family, good to go. But a man, we just required to do more. We're supposed to get out there, yell from the roofs. We have to make sure we're out here fighting for the Lord, making sure that we are fighting for God, keeping God's standards and all these types of, we have to do all that. But a woman will be saved through childbearing and just honoring her husband. So when we go back and we look at how Eve ate the fruit. Eve ate from the tree. And when Adam had the opportunity to deny it, he didn't. He ate from it as well. And when God came, Adam did exactly what men do today. We're just sons of Adam. He blamed God and he blamed the woman. He blamed God because God made the woman. So he came in Genesis 3. That's where God came, and he was looking for Adam. He didn't go looking for Eve. He went looking for Adam. Why was he looking for Adam and not Eve? God knows Eve ate from the tree first. He went looking for Adam because Adam is the leader. Men, if you want to be a leader, act like one. God went to Adam because he commanded Adam, hey, don't eat from this tree. Although Eve disobeyed Adam, Adam still had a responsibility to follow the command God gave him, but he did not. He was deceived by the woman. He ate from the tree, and he blamed God for giving him the woman. That's what he did. So God put his curses on Eve, but then what's most important, he told Adam, the ground would be cursed because of you, not because of Eve, but because of you, because you disobeyed me, sir. Now, God has a hierarchy. A lot of people want to be married. A lot of women want to be married, but they won't accept the hierarchy. A lot of men want wives to submit to them. Meanwhile, they want to play God. I don't recommend women submitting to a man who lives according to his own standards. To me, it's not smart. Now you got a man who, anytime you're trying to go to him and tell him, hey, you're supposed to do this way or that way, think about this, think about that. He pretty much just, however he feels is how he lives. And that's very hard for you because now you don't really know what the next step is because it depends on how he feels. It's not a way you want to live your life. And the Bible talks about us being yoked differently. A lot of Christian women go marrying dudes and thinking you could introduce him to God. Some of y'all get lucky. But why not find a man who already loves God? A man who already fears God? A lot of women look for husbands in all the wrong places. Men who looking for wives, depending on the type of wife, I don't really know where to go look for a wife if you're not looking for a Christian wife. When I wanted to get married, I was at work all the time. I didn't know how it was going to happen. So God brought my wife to me right at work. But a lot of people want to be married and stuff, steady going to bars and clubs, looking for girls. You know, a lot of women think, oh, I'm gonna go out with my friends this weekend and find a guy and meet him. Like, I mean, why not go find a man who's already looking for a wife? Why not find a man who already fear God? Because, believe it or not, women, a man can be tall, have all this money, all these things. But the moment he cheat on you, none of that matters. So the most important thing to you women is him being faithful. That seems to be one of the most important things to y'all. Him being faithful, not embarrassing you, cheating on you and all this. Now, that's not even 100% dealing with a man of God. But what you do know is, if a man has a foundation where God, he actually fears God, love God, I can't sit here and tell you he'll never make a mistake. But if he does, he'll be just like any other man, except with the fear of the Lord, he will get right. Especially if he has a wife, he know he didn't hurt her, broke her heart, she in tears, crying, feel really bad. Like, he'll feel pretty bad, especially if you're a good wife. That's the thing. Men can't help. If you're a good woman and a guy making you cry, he's gonna feel bad. Now, if you just some chick he date, he ain't gonna care. Now, a lot of women be like, dudes don't care. No, if you just some little side piece he using for sex, he won't care. But if he went as far as put a ring on your finger, and you've been a good wife, one that don't argue with him and all this type of stuff, and you find out he's cheating, he's gonna clean it up. Now, a lot of women say, oh, we supposed to be with a man who's gonna listen. What I'm trying, no man is perfect. Nobody but Jesus is perfect. So we also be looking for Jesus to be the one that make us happy. But if this is your husband, this is your husband. You have a reason to be upset? True enough. But at the end of the day, just breaking up your husband, your family, and go get with another man and deal with the same thing, it's just crazy. He's only a man. Men have a lot of testosterone. I feel like a woman leaving a man, if he cheats on you one time, I'm gonna say that. If it's a man who, even though you're a good wife, you don't argue with him and all these type of things. Because I feel like if a woman likes to argue and fight with her man, he cheats on you, then to me it's kind of justified. Because if you're arguing and all, you don't supposed to be doing that with your husband. So if you're doing all that and being a quarrelsome wife, the Bible says it's better to live under a bridge than in a house with a quarrelsome wife. The Bible says living in a house with a quarrelsome wife. A quarrelsome means a person that likes to argue. Quarrelsome is argument. So they said living in a house with a quarrelsome wife is like a house with a leaky roof. Imagine being in your living room and you just keep hearing water. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all, I didn't been there. It's very annoying. So again, God tells us just how annoying it is being in a house with a woman that loves to argue. God understands how horrible it is. And that's why he doesn't recommend you do it. And I don't recommend you do it. Because I've had good women in the past, but all that blah, 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 nagging is like, oh my God, I can't deal with it. You just can't. So if a woman is truly a good woman, a good wife, there's no way a man who actually fears God is going to make that mistake more than once. And again, if he made that mistake once, I understand he's a man. But again, the way God made us with our testosterone being high, that'll be, you leaving your husband for cheating on you one time would be almost like you having a baby and your husband want a divorce while you're going through postpartum. That's really very, very equivalent. Because he's complaining that you're stressing him out and now he's going to leave you. So the same way a man cheated and now he's stressing you out, but you're going to leave him. That's very equivalent. That's almost the same to me. A man is born with this testosterone. And it takes some longer than others to control it. And like I said, if a man cheats on you once, and like say he even go 2-3 years before he cheat on you again, I don't think that's enough to break up your family. You know, according to the Bible, a woman is supposed to leave her husband, period. But even to a human standards, I would say I don't believe, unless he just blatantly disrespectful, not coming home, and you never argue with him, you just make the house, his home, as happy as you can make it. Every time you come home, you take care of him, you do his feet, you cook for him, you do all these wonderful things. You never have a reason for him not to, and somehow he still doesn't come home, cheats on you all the time. Now it's a different story. You know, but I just don't think a woman who is truly a submissive wife, I don't believe they get done that way. Maybe they do, but again, don't be yoked differently. Find a man who fear God. And you know how you fear God, because Jesus said by their fruits you would know them. What do they find? What do they love the most in their life? Is it God? Or do they love to be around their boys? Is it God, or do they love working all the time, making money? Money is the biggest thing on their mind. They like to be fresh, clothes, Jordans, and always being fresh, impressing women. Clearly, God isn't their number one priority. So again, by the fruits you will know them. You have to know the fruits. Gentle, kindness, and the fear of the Lord is the biggest thing. Because as long as he following God's standards, you understand what standard you're going by. So if he ever tripping or being evil and mean and things like that, you can be like, I mean, just don't. Again, I believe if a woman that does not argue with a man, I don't see him being disrespectful and things like that alone. I can see him saying something sideways or something, but coming back and apologizing, you know, and feeling bad. Because men, we love women. Everybody loves women. A lot of women think these guys are, nobody hates women. We're all raised by women. Mama, grandmas, aunties, daycare, schools. Women. You can't help but everybody loves women. But there's people out here who genuinely who really did not grow up with no men, no presence of a man at all. They don't know nothing about men. They got an uncle they barely see. They don't have no respect for men. They don't know nothing about men. They don't care about men. So now when they get older, they meet men and they hear men talk and hear their opinions. They think it's crazy. They seem to hate men because our men and women are just so different. But again, I think the biggest issue is that we've gotten away from God. Forget how men or women think. It's all about what God thinks and how God thinks we should be. And a lot of us has gotten away from that. And it's not because of Adam and it's not because of Eve. It's because of sin. That is the biggest thing. And even with the Bible today and God telling us all these things, we still don't follow him. So don't be mad at Adam and don't be mad at Eve. Because we are just as wicked as both Adam and Eve. That's going to be all for today, guys. See you next time.